We're going to start by making a slip knot. Unravel some of your yarn and leave yourself a tail of about 6 inches. I like to make a triangle shape with my yarn and then flip it to make a loop. Pay attention to which strand is on top of your loop, then go through the loop, grab that strand and pull it back through. This should make a noose shape. This is your slip stitch. I like to measure the slip stitch against the size of my finger. You want it to be approximately 2 inches. When you're happy with the size of your slip stitch, we are going to now make a chain of stitches. Put 2 fingers through the slip stitch, grab your working yarn and pull it through to make a new stitch. Now do that again. 2 fingers through the new stitch, grab your working yarn and pull it through to make another stitch. We're going to do this approximately 12 times until you've got a long chain of stitches. When you're happy with your chain, you're going to curve it round into a circle and tuck the tail into the last loop you made. Now move the tail into the centre of the circle, just so it doesn't get in your way. Now we're going to do what's called knitting in the round. We are going to knit into the outside of all of the stitches going the whole way around the circle. Go into your first stitch with 2 fingers, grab your working yarn and pull a new stitch through. You want these ones to be much smaller than the last ones, approximately 1 inch or half the size of your finger. I like to put a peg on my first stitch as a stitch marker so I can remember where I started from. Now we're going to do that again. Go into the second stitch, grab your working yarn and pull it back through, making another stitch that's about 1 inch. Keep going the whole way around the circle until you get back to where you started. When you get back to where you started, we're going to knit in the round again. This will be your second row. Take off your peg if you've got one, pull a new stitch through, put your peg back on, and then knit in the round once again, getting back to where you started. Remember to make sure that all of these stitches are approximately 1 inch. When you've finished your first 2 rows, we're now going to close up the top of your Christmas pudding. Grab your string and we are going to thread it around all of the inside loops. Start anywhere you like and tuck the string under each one of the inside stitches. Keep going until both ends of your string meet back together. When you've picked up all of the inside stitches, you are then going to pull tightly on the string to close up the top of your Christmas pudding. I then like to knot it in a double knot. Now you're going to do one more row of knitting in the round using the cream yarn. Keep going until you get back to where you started. You may now start to notice that your stitches are trying to curl up the way. That's a good thing. Encourage them to go in whichever direction they want to. Now it's time to grab your brown yarn. Unravel some of your yarn, and we're going to pull a new stitch through the one where you started. So for me, it's the one with the peg on it. Pull a stitch through first, and then tie both tails together. So the cream and the brown tails will be tied together. You can then tuck them out of the way underneath the top of your Christmas pudding. And now you're going to continue knitting in the round. Keep going until you've got about 1 meter of brown yarn left. Remember, your stitches will try to curve inwards. That's fine, allow them to do that. Once you finish knitting, we'll turn your pudding inside out and then it will look perfect. When you've got approximately 1 meter of your brown yarn left, we are now going to go round the circle, picking up all of the stitches and threading all of the yarn through each of the stitches. Make sure you pick them all up as you go around the circle and pull all of the yarn through each stitch. When you've picked up all of the stitches, it's time to turn your pudding inside out. This is the outside of your Christmas pudding. Now grab your cushion, scrunch it up, and stick it inside. You're now going to pull on the tail to close up the hole at the bottom of your Christmas pudding. When the hole is closed, you can loop the tail around one of the stitches and tie it off. I then like to tuck the rest of the brown yarn in underneath to cover up the little gap. If you can still see the string on the top of your Christmas pudding, snip it down until it's about 2 inches with a pair of scissors and then tuck in the ends. Now it's time to add our leaves. This is where I like to identify what I call the ugly stitch. I find the stitch that is the least neat and then I thread the green yarn through that stitch. Pull it through until it's halfway, and then make bunny ears with each side of the yarn. Tie them together, and now you've made a bow. Play with your bow until you're happy with the shape of it. Some people like to leave it as a bow and tidy up the ends, whereas others like to tuck them in so that it looks like leaves. Now it's time to make your pom-pom berries. Grab your red yarn and wrap it around your hand a couple of times, maybe 4 or 5. Then slide it gently off your hand and use some string to tie it around the middle. Make sure you tie really tightly. When it's tied really tightly, you're going to grab your scissors and snip the top and the bottom of the pom-pom. Don't worry if your pom-pom comes out looking really messy, it will need a big haircut. Just make sure you don't snip off the string. We need the string to tie it onto the Christmas pudding. Do this twice until you've got 2 lovely fluffy pom-poms. Then you're going to use the string to tie them onto the stitches of the Christmas pudding. Tuck any stray string into the centre of the Christmas pudding and attach both pom-poms. And now you should have a beautiful Christmas pudding. Well done! Merry Christmas, everyone!